Hi everybody, this is the Lucky TJ at Livingmetaphysically, and today I was looking at Vertcoin and why. And I had come across an article about Vertcoin halving and splitting in half. And I was curious to know why Vertcoin has been having a lot of spiking. So months back, someone had recommended to me that I buy Vertcoin, and I did. And then I saw Vertcoin hover around, I don't remember, let's say $3 and something, 3.56, around that. And then about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm not, and forgive me if I don't remember specific dates, but that's not really as important as finding out a little bit more about Vertcoin. But a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that I came home and I looked at my Vertcoin, and it, instead of being the normal around like in my instead of having like normally what I was seeing is, I had like in Bitrix, I would have like $300, $400, whatever. All of a sudden it just spiked up to around, so it combined with everything that I had, which isn't a lot, but Vert was the one I had the most of, because I had 100 Verts. And all of a sudden, it was like I had like $500, $556, $600. So Vert was going up steadily from around 356 to like more. And then when it got around 600, I sold 50, and then I was mad because I did that. But now I still have the 50, and it's still like going up, and it's around $9 right now. So anyway, back to the subject, I was curious to know about Vertcoin because I didn't really realize when I bought it, like what it was for, what it really did, why was it, why I trusted the source that I heard it from, that it was more than likely going to be something really good. But I really didn't know what it was because I have been really, really busy. And as you may have observed, I haven't made that many videos because essentially a couple of reasons. One, I'm kind of sensitive, so like it's really difficult for me to make videos and have people make negative comments. So a lot of times I do a lot of research, and I also had been getting into coins and ICOs, and actually still work. Although I'm pretty confident I'll be able to stop my job to just like most people. Probably my intention is the coming year. So at any rate, I have been really busy, and so I'm glad to be back to share, and I'm going to be starting a different channel as well. That one's going to be called Discover the I Am Within to Improve Your Life. My life is so incredibly great that it's just hard to even, like when the words tumble out of my mouth, I know that people in general kind of don't really get it, but that's okay because we all have the ability to be great. But back to Vertcoin. What is Vertcoin? I found the Vertcoin Facebook page, and I wanted to show this little video because I think this is a great way to introduce the topic.
Vertcoin, next generation digital currency. Vertcoin allows you to send or receive super fast payments anywhere in the world. You pay for all your favorite products and services without needing a bank or financial institution. This means no handling fees or charges. Simple. Vertcoin is kept in a digital wallet. When you want to pay someone, you simply enter an address, how much you want to pay, and then send. It's just as simple to receive Vertcoin too. Just give someone a payment address and receive your payment in seconds with no fees. Like other digital currencies, Vertcoin can be mined using your computer's CPU or GPU. These computers create a worldwide network that allows the currency to operate, and miners are rewarded for their hard work with Vertcoins. What's different about Vertcoin? As more coins are discovered, they become harder to find. Competition to mine them has increased, with expensive specialized mining machines called ASICs being developed, shutting less wealthy miners out. Vertcoin uses new technology that makes it resistant to ASIC miners, meaning it's harder for big business to monopolize. And everyday miners will always be able to mine with their CPU and GPUs, making Vertcoin the coin of the people. For more information, please visit vertcoin.org.
So that's really awesome. So now I have a better idea of exactly what Vertcoin is, and no, I'm not going to go and see the little baby, which that was cute though. So they were saying go to vertcoin.org, and here's their website. I actually didn't look around it very much. I just wanted to put this video together because I'm starving and would like to go eat. But anyway, I did want to talk a little bit more about the Vertcoin. Well, first of all, let's take one quick look at the market today and look and see where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is down from the high a couple of days ago, but of course that you have to have that happen because you already know that that the whole game of trading is that you sell high and then everybody and the price is going to go down the more people sell, and then when people start buying a lot, then it's going to raise the price again. So that's fine, but anyway, I want to talk about a little bit more about Vert and how much it is, and it is down. Well, actually, it was $9 a little earlier, so it's at $8.55. So essentially, it's still not bad. I don't know how much. Well, I am not, first of all, let me just say, no, I'm not a professional trader or anything. These are my opinions. This is research I'm doing. I'm just sharing it with you. And so is this a good time to buy? I'm not so sure. I bought Vert originally at 3 something, like I told you. When was that? Oh, Vert's been around for a long time, huh? Let's just look at the month. Well, I should look at 3 months. Let's see here. 3 months ago, no, I didn't have it way back like that. I had it, I think, somewhere around here, at least $3 or something like that. So when I sold at 6. Woo, it got up to 10. That's nice. Look at this. Got up to, oh, okay, that's not that high. Okay, so right now, let's look on Bittrex and see what it's saying, where Vert is. Okay, here we go. Resolve. So I really need to go down if I'm going to recoup. It's at 824. So what I wanted to share was that on December the 12th, so Vertcoin blog here, there's going to be the first block reward subsidy halving. Halving. How do you pronounce that? Because it's halving. The halving will occur on block 840,000 and reduce mining rewards by 50% from 50 Vert per block to 25 Vert per block. This halving occurs roughly every 4 years and will continue to halve until the supply is fully emitted. So it's just saying they're going to continue to do that, and this article is really great. So you can find that. I guess I'll post a link in the description. What does this really mean? Will mining be impacted? Yes. What's the value? What about the value of the coin? Well, I'm seeing, should we expect a spike in the price? Well, yes, the price is spiking. All good questions, and all will be answered. Let's go get into it. Where do Vertcoins come from? Vertcoins, so, I think another thing that's interesting is that a lot of people don't know much about the blockchain or mining. I read a lot of comments, and actually I am making an effort to not read as much like FUD comments that are negative. Not so much that I don't really want negative energy in my space, And it isn't though I'm closed-minded, it's that many people don't know anything about the topic to actually share legitimate concerns. And that's I think would be great to be communicated. But when people don't know anything about mining, I wonder sometimes if people think, because I read somebody wrote a comment in a group, a chat, a Facebook group that or someplace, I think it was a Facebook group, and it said, the person said, and when the mining sites go down. So I wasn't even certain whether they meant that. I was curious, which I'll never know. Like, do they think mining is done on a website? Kind of like we're reading this blog on a website, or do they realize that mining is done on hardware? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not certain that people know what Bitcoin is, coins are, where they come from, blockchain, fees, transactions. There's a lot of learning that people have to do. So but I do read a lot of comments, and people seem as though the things they say don't make sense to me. So that's how come I make an effort not to read too much stuff that people post. But unfortunately, or fortunately, because life is always a series of lessons. People send me stuff. Like I took some. I did not let people know that I was into crypto for a while. But once I did, all of a sudden people were sending me whoa, warnings and all these things. And but some of the people seemed as though they didn't have that much information. They might have read one article or maybe a couple articles, but this was the one they sent. But I didn't get a feeling that they had a wide range of knowledge based on the articles that they sent me. And then a lot of fear stuff, and a lot of, to me, ignorant stuff that, people saying things that just doesn't make logic, because cryptocurrency is a logical situation. Meaning that it's scientific. So blockchain is science. It's math. It has to do with algorithms. So is mining. So if you don't know much about that stuff and you are talking all about it, then I'm not certain I can trust that. Anyway, I know I can't trust what you're talking about. So anyway, here we go. Where did the new Vertcoins come from? Within every block that is mined and added to the blockchain, there's a transaction that contains a 50 Vertcoin mining reward. This reward is sent to the miners or miners in a pool, which is typically how people mine. Although I'm thinking about getting a mining machine to mine Vert since it's going up. Yay! That would solve this block. I just have to find out how long would it take, and if it's worth it. When you mine Vert, you're receiving brand new, newly fresh created Vertcoins. This translates to roughly 28,800 new Vertcoin created and added to the total supply. So the max supply is going to be 84 million. 4 times the max supply of Bitcoin. Every 4 years, the subsidy will half until the last Vertcoin is emitted. And then, of course, like Bitcoin, like gold, Vertcoin is a finite supply, making it a deflationary asset. So it means with time, of course, Vertcoin increases in rarity and becomes harder to obtain, and ultimately increases in value, which is how come what I have learned and what most people talk about when you want to invest in a coin. I personally have been looking at the amount of total coin, max supply of the coin that will be able to be circulated, just because I know that the less amount than the higher price, more than the likelihood of a higher price. So when they do this cutting in half, it's going to affect the miners. And so I did want to talk about one thing. Let's see what the definition of mining reward is. And so here's another thing you can do if you are looking for information. Just Google it. I mean, it sounds silly, but as a person who's into IT and into educating myself. You can search just terms, just like when they talk about the reward, you can just search what is a mining reward. So the mining reward is in the process of mining. Each winner in the Bitcoin mining lottery receives a reward. So that's with any mining, which is a certain amount of coins. So this right here is just talking about Bitcoin. The reward includes all of the transaction fees for the transactions in that block, which motivates miners to collect as many transactions into a block as possible, increasing the reward. So you can get some better definitions of mining and the mining rewards and how that works. Just go and take a look sometimes so that you can educate yourself about this amazing space called cryptocurrency, and that way you'll know like what to do. And so I hope you have some time. So what is a block transaction fee? The transaction fee is received by the Bitcoin miner when a Bitcoin block is guaranteed, and this is mining in general, so they're talking about Bitcoin here, with a successful hash. Hash is the algorithm, the computation. The information for all the transactions is included with the block, and all transaction fees are collected by that miner creating the block, who is free to assign those fees to themselves. So what's going on is that, a person or, miners, however they are showing up, like if you have your own mining equipment at your house, or if you are, or if a company has mining equipment, then those computers, they're not really computers typically, although you can mine with your CPU, but it is not necessarily as fast or efficient as specially built mining rigs that mine with some sort of graphics card or special miners, like I think the Ant miners. So you can find out about all that hardware and all that stuff, so you can be educated and understand exactly what this stuff is. But you don't have to. You can still take recommendations from people who are knowledgeable, because like everybody isn't scientifically minded and can't really either understand or doesn't care, doesn't have time to think about these things. But mining essentially is that the computer, or what to call it, the mining hardware is going to go out onto the internet and find these transactions. And there's some little videos that talk about mining that you can watch that sum it up. So I didn't look for one right now. And then when that miner discovers when that block is mined, there's transaction fees and rewards. That's how those blocks are created. So let's go back to here, talking about what's going to happen. They're saying that the mining reward is being cut in half for Vert, and as a miner, it does mean that they're going to receive less coins. But they're thinking that when there are less rewards, that means that some of the miners are going to drop out, and they expect that then it will make the difficulty less. So within a few blocks, the mining difficulty will also drop due to there being less miners on the network, and we should expect mining and hash rate to eventually find an equilibrium relative to the price at the time. Mining rewards aren't the only way their miners are paid, and as we just said, as I just talked about, miners are paid with both the block reward and the transaction fees associated with the transaction within the mined block. So, what else is the article saying? They're saying that you can kind of read this for yourself, but essentially it compares this same halving process to Litecoin that happened, and so in conclusion, it's saying that they think that the halving is something really great. It's a milestone. It's going to expect a short-term decrease in mining profitability, but they think that it's going to be good for the Vertcoin itself, and that it'll be good for the space of Vertcoin in the space. So as you see, that's information about Vertcoin. And what else was I going to say? Oh, I know. Now, here's something I didn't really realize. Maybe I forgot it. Maybe I did know and then I forgot. But you can mine Vertcoin, as it said in the article, on your CPU. So here's some instructions. You're going to have to download the mining software, install it. So you have to have some sort of computer. I think what it said originally, what did it say? I read before I started the video, you can mine it with your CPU or you can mine it with the graphics card. And maybe you don't know why would you use one over the others, because graphics cards can do the computations faster because they typically can have a lot more RAM. You can buy like a very expensive graphics card and like it can do the computations faster. All right, so then you just connect to some sort of a pool, and then you can mine. So I'm thinking about doing this. If I do, I'll make a video. So here you are. There's two ways to mine Vertcoin via your graphics card or your CPU. Two types of graphics card, AMD and NVIDIA. So you might know that in the hardware space, my graphics cards have become very, very sought after, and many of them, at least the last time I checked, which hasn't been lately, but at some point, some of the video cards were like way on back order. So I don't know how they are right now. Should I look that up? Maybe. Let's just see. Back order. Let's just put that and see if that's going on. Did you mean back order? Yes. Okay, here you go. Here's an article talking about, and this was in August, and here's some mining rigs, just like I had talked about earlier. Like, so a lot of times, people may get together. Well, mining rigs for crypto are have a lot of heat, and they also are electricity intensive, and so like you may or may not want to have something in your house. You don't have to have this many, but so I don't know who has this exactly, but this is a cryptocurrency mining rig, pretty good. Anyway, this article is just talking about how sales jumped 30.9%, and so you can see like how they jumped right there. So anyway, that's sort of off topic, but it is really great information. Like I told you, you can find out a lot, and then the more that you find out, the just as with everything, well, I think the more you know, and more knowledge, it's like it can't hurt you, I don't think. So anyway, here you go. You can mine. You start mining, dick, dick, dick. And so here you go. So if you want to find out more information about how to mine, there's some. And here's some links and resources here. You can join their Discord. You can go to their Facebook page or their Twitter. And their official website, like I told you, is this one. All right, so my computer's acting like it doesn't want to have any internet connection. So either way, I'll close this one and give my computer a little more. And if it's acting up, then that's fine. It means it's time to close the video and go get some food. So I have, the reason why those tabs are suspended is because I have this cool program that suspends them, so it uses less RAM. All right, so I'm hoping that you got some value out of this video, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit like, and then also I will follow. I want you to check out my other channel. I'm going to be setting that up soon. That's going to be mostly about living a better life and ways in which you can cut through some of the blocks that you may have. Blocks, not blockchain blocks, But blocks, personal blocks, spiritual type blocks that you might have, or blocks in your life that you don't know about, perhaps, that keep you from being able to have the greatest happiness that you, in the best life, that, and have everything that you want. So that's going to be a different channel, but I will end this video with my motto, which is question everything, and you will more than likely see that there's a lot that you have accepted as true in general as a person, that maybe just things in the way to keep you from being happy. So when you're doing crypto, no matter what you're doing, you have your life, and that's always going to be going on. So if you're wanting to have success and for some reason you find that you're not having it, it's probably like all in different areas. It's probably not just limited to crypto. It's probably in other areas. So that's how come I always support people to question themselves, question everything, get underneath, get to the truth, see whether or not it's something you want to be about. And you say, well, what does that have to do with Vertcoin? Well, everything is connected, and it's important that I just think it's important that people that understand a little bit more about life, even when you take a trip down to looking and seeing specifics, like, okay, here's coins, I want to make money. So let me give you an example, though, before I sign off. So I look into my own life and I said, there's times when I might miss out on, like, I'm not able to get into an ICO. Everybody gets it for 88 cents. For some reason, I say, well, dang, it comes out on the market, it's $5, $3, or whatever it is, or then it jumps up to $20 or $35, and I think, oh, I missed that. Okay, so there's reasons why everyone's life sets up the way it sets up, and we are creating our lives. That's another thing, and I'll talk more about in my other channel. But if you're noticing that you need information about business type things and you think that it's not related to who you are as a person, that's just not true, because everything is connected. So I have to look at myself and see, like, how am I some sort of way creating that I miss coins, like when they're cheap, and then I think, oh, everybody else was able to make all this money, or why I purchase small amounts. Like I noticed when I got into the crypto game, it's taken months for me to understand that I'd be better off taking a risk and getting larger amounts of a couple of coins. Like if I had gotten 1,000 or more Vert, versus when I first bought it, I think I bought 35, and then I topped that off to with 50 to make 85, and then I topped that off to make 100. So I can see when Vert jumped up to even $6, that if I had 1,000, boy, I would have been like really, well, I was happy either way, trust me. But I would have been really like, making some profits the way that other people are proving that they're making profits. And I know that it has something to do with my inner consciousness, my consciousness. So that's why I say everything is about consciousness. So questioning everything is part of understanding oneself so that you can have more of what you want. So, okay, with all that, I wish you peace for today, that today you learned something, and that you'll come back and, I have a lot more to share about the crypto space, my own crypto journey, and then also about spirituality. Take care. Have a great day.